Triple H's Survivor Series War Games, a complete disaster. TNA gets a new home for TV. We got all that and so much more tonight on a brand new episode.
Oh, we lost. Oh, there you go. Brand new episode of
Off the Mat.
Off the Mat.
Like, for some reason, my mic was,
Off the mat.
What happened?
I don't know.
I don't know. Matt like disappeared in a time portal somewhere. What's going on?
Can you guys hear me or no?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
All right.
All right. What happened there?
Stay off my Wi-Fi.
I'm not coming through the right or something.
Yeah, Sticks is his internet's rubbing off on yours.
I don't wish that on anybody. Believe me.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Well, lost him again.
Aww.
This is going to be a crazy night. Off the mat.
It's just, I'm not coming through. I don't know what's going on.
And Sticks is muted. I don't know why. You are
Technical
muted.
difficulties, I guess.
Oh, this is fun. Can't get any better than this.
There we go. It sounds like I'm good now. All right.
Okay.
Sorry about that, everyone. How you guys doing tonight? How's it going? Sticks, Dom.
It's going great. This
Doing
is
good.
actually,
Doing good.
you know,
This is
when
the
has
pains we have of doing a live show.
hey, listen, sometimes you have the mishaps. Those are the best things about live shows. When has the word epic
More appropriate.
ever meant something two-sided on what we witnessed on Monday night? Don't get me wrong, it was a good show. Epic, not even close.
I wouldn't call that epic. I wouldn't call that epic.
There was nothing epic about what Triple H and TKO gave us
On Monday.
on Raw on Monday night. There was nothing epic about what Triple H and TKO gave us on Saturday night at Survivor Series.
Agreed.
No,
The women's War Games match didn't need to happen. That could have just been on a random ass Raw or SmackDown. There's nothing premium about these premium live events. And now we have Freddie Prinze Jr. out here saying, oh, well, ESPN is not happy with the WWE deal.
yep.
Who was the show that was talking months ago about ESPN probably not being happy with the WWE deal? They are losing their shirts over the WWE deal.
Yeah.
So much so that WWE, even though Freddie Prinze Jr. and Triple H must know each other because Freddie Prinze Jr. was a writer for WWE, they're going as far as to discredit him, saying we don't know who Freddie Prinze Jr. is, and he's never worked for this company.
Yeah, just crazy. They turned around and said, who that?
Who dat? Who
Who
dat?
that?
New phone, who this?
So
Oh my God.
we're gonna get into our Survivor Series review. I want to do that off the rip tonight. Usually we save it for a little bit later on the show, but I want to do that off the rip right up in the hurry, just so we can get out of the way, talk about it, and then get into how abysmal that show was and how unepic Raw was.
Yep.
And I mean, we harp on it every week. You can't forgive or excuse that WWE last time is now John Cena tournament either, because it is doo-doo butthole.
Well, I'll tell you what, with all due respect, when we get to Monday.
Oh, Dom froze.
must be StreamYard. Something with StreamYard tonight.
It could be the weather too. It's cold outside. You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
But
Sorry for the technical difficulties, folks.
We, the John Cena tournament, we did get a doozy of a match. Gunther and Solo, quite have to be Solo's best.
Oh, Dom's gone again. This is going to be a night. I can already tell. But while we wait for Dom to come back, Triple H's booking of Survivor Series WarGames San Diego has been dubbed the worst open air arena show. He has been dubbed the worst booker now by the IWC after going on his post show, which is very scripted, very safe, no outside media, all WWE personalities on the pay, on the books or on the pay scale. And they are dubbing him now the worst booker Kevin. After Triple H went on his own post show saying Raw Monday is going to be epic. Kevin says, oh my God, Sixth Internet has become sentient and is taking over the stream.
I hope not. Please, Kevin, don't wish that upon anybody. Hey, listen, he keeps coming up with these. Oh, it's going to be epic. And now Friday's going to be the best thing you've ever seen or whatever he freaking said about SmackDown come tomorrow.
It's not.
It's
not going to be.
He's trying to talk up a turd into a rose. Like, oh, that's not this, it's that.
Yes, he's trying to polish a turd into a diamond, is what's happening.
Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah, about it. Yeah,
it's not going to
Survivor
work.
Series. No, Survivor Series having only 4 matches. One of them, like you said, didn't need to take place. The women's WarGames match was thrown together like popsicle sticks and glue. I don't know what they're doing over there. They got what they want. They got that money. I think that's what it boils down to.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I think they are striking out or attempting to strike out against people using VPNs. Because I tried to watch on my VPN and Netflix would just freeze automatically, where I would have to restart it and go back into it. So I don't know what was going on with that. Maybe it was just Netflix. I don't know. But it was so bad. It's such a bad weekend of wrestling for WWE that even Vince Russo is talking about it. And he said on his YouTube show, in my 55 years of watching professional wrestling, and I'm talking about the main level, I'm obviously not talking about indie stuff. In my 55 years of watching televised wrestling, I'm going to make a declaration without a shadow of a doubt. Triple H is the worst booker I have ever seen since 1971. That's a big statement.
Yeah, sure is.
He said, you've got the masked guy at WarGames screwing the babyface team, and none of the babyfaces are on Monday Night Raw to get answers to find out who effed them. Are you effing kidding me? And bro, it's important, and it's a story of such magnitude that only one that seems to care about it is Adam Pearce. And he cares about it to the point, Stevie, of putting a referee on it. Welcome back, Tom.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know what the hell happened.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his way back to the arena, Mr. Dom Tober.
Oh my God, Sticks has been taking over.
Give him the round of applause he deserves.
Oh, Jesus. Nah. So what did I mention? You were talking about the Survivor Series?
Oh, no, we're talking about Triple H being deemed or named the worst booker ever now. And Vince Russo is going as far as saying he's the worst booker he's seen since 1971.
Well, look, let me tell you something. I know you got to blame him because he is the CEO of Creative.
He's the guy in charge. He's
the guy in charge. But
Vince McMahon's replacement.
TKO has a lot of say because corporations is always the big boss in the back that's telling, no, I want this done like this. They're the ones that want all these PLEs. They're the ones that are watering down the product. That's why the product sucks, because it's getting watered down. And look, I'm not going to blame Triple H on subpar friggin' matches and subpar friggin' shows. But yes, you have to blame him on certain things, but not all the blame. It's TK.
I think he deserves all the blame because it's literally his job. As far as my understanding goes, Ari Emanuel has nothing to do with this. Ari Emanuel, it's Nick Khan, Triple H. Triple H is the head of creative. Triple H is the head of the writers' room. Triple H handles all of that. He's Vince McMahon. He took over his father-in-law's position. He's the guy in the gorilla position that's making the calls. It's his fault.
Yeah.
It starts with him. He's the face, for all intents and purposes. He is the face of WWE. It starts and ends with him. It's his fault.
Let me ask you a question. If Vince McMahon was still in charge, but TKO is they bought it out, and Triple H and Vince McMahon stayed in charge, do you think the product will be 100 times better than what it is now?
No, because Vince's time was up before TKO ever came in.
I'm just saying,
picture.
But just put him in that picture. If Vince McMahon stayed and did not get canned and did not get tossed aside because all these allegations and all this stuff that's been going on with him, do you think that the product would have been the same type of product that he was giving us when he was the head?
Let me put it this way. I think Vince McMahon sold the company to TKO because remember, he sold it after he got outed the first time and was forced to retire the first time.
Okay.
I think he sold TKO, WWE, because he saw online people raving about how good of a job his son-in-law was doing at booking the show, how good of a job Triple H was doing booking a show. And Vince said, there's no way I'm handing this over to them. I would rather sell this company than go out like this and let somebody just replace me like that. And that's what he did. And he got guarantees of, oh, you'll still be in charge, yada, yada, yada. And then when this whole Janelle Grant thing came out and he was ousted again, because he thought him and Artie were great friends, and he got ousted again, and TKO said, hit the bricks, old man, and handed things over to Triple H and Tony Khan.
He sure did.
I think that's the only reason WWE ever got sold was because Vince McMahon was like, this company isn't going to exist without me, and sold it off.
Let me ask you a question now. Do you think because of trying to beat AEW and trying to push the envelope to make back all those billions of dollars that they lost, that they were trying to make back and compete with AEW, that it became stagnant? That the shows, look, let's put it this way. Do you really think shows in general are fantastic? Storylines were even fantastic back in the day when we had the Attitude Era. When we had when we had the Monday Night Wars.
I think they were more constructed in the Attitude Era. They had more construction.
It's because WCW
they had more time to put into it.
Well, not just that. Remember, shows were taped back then, so they weren't. Raw was taped every week, so it wasn't live. Yeah. And also, there was the competition. WCW was pushing WWE. They were on each other's heels. They were beating WWE in the ratings. So that forced Vince and Russo and all them to start the Attitude Era. That's the only reason we got the Attitude Era, is because
you know why?
Eric Bischoff and WCW was pushing WWE every week.
That's not the reason. The reason why was Kevin Nash and freaking goddamn Kevin Nash and Big Daddy Diesel freaking went over to
Scott Hall went
over to freaking the competition. That's what started the Attitude Era. If they never went over there, we would have never had the Attitude Era. Look, the fact is that the Attitude Era,
probably.
The Attitude Era was revolutionary. It was like up there. You had all these different angles. You had charismatic stars. You had stars that actually that came on the mic that were great. Look, The Rock. Say what you want about The Rock. The Rock was entertaining. He was great back then.
Oh, dude, Attitude Era Rock, phenomenal.
It did with Stone Cold, with Mankind. You had everything you possibly wanted. You had the action, the horror, the comedy. You had all the things, and you had the McMahons. The McMahons were a big part of the show. They were integrated in the show itself. You had the corporation. You had friggin' Shane McMahon having the corporation. Then you had the corporate ministry. You had the friggin' the corporation. You had the Ministry of Darkness. You had all these things that were going on that were run by the McMahons. Triple H is not being a part of the show. Stephanie is no longer part of the show. They don't even friggin' advertise and show Shane McMahon. So, but look, I understand where he's coming. Look, I'm not gonna friggin' sit here and say Triple H is like, oh my God, he's the genius of it. But the heart of the show were the McMahons.
But you say that, but explain WrestleMania 39 and 40 to me. Explain the build of the Bloodline. Explain Cody's story.
The Bloodline was an awesome storyline. Cody's finishing the story. That was cinematic. Those were cinematic moments. Once Cody finished the story became a nightmare and crashing to an end because really that build and that feeling is not there. And besides, all the wrestlers are getting hurt. There's a whole bunch of guys getting hurt. There's a whole bunch of things going on. So you have to keep changing creative. And look, what's killing it is the friggin' multiple PLEs. PLEs are supposed to be built up special. The story is not. The stories that they're doing are not able to manifest to a story that leads into a PLE that will make sense.
I disagree. I disagree that it's the PLEs to blame. It's not the multiple PLEs to blame. It's poor writing, poor character development, and their inability to move on and create new stars. At some point over the last 5 years, WWE has become stagnant with creating new stars. It's almost like they're scared to create new stars. Sol Ruca. Why are we having Sol Ruca go for the NXT Women's Champion? Why isn't she on SmackDown right now?
You know why?
Why isn't Jordan Grace on SmackDown right now? We have a depleted roster on SmackDown. Raw is no much better. These guys are getting older. We're pushing a 41-year-old LA Knight and a 5-year-old CM Punk to the top of your card. We're so coming back around to that. If you believe Meltzer, we're staring down the barrel of Cody Roman 33 at WrestleMania this year or next year.
Look, I'm not saying that you're not right. You are definitely right. There's a lot of stars in NXT that should be coming up to really fix it. Look, first of all, you got Trick Williams, who has done everything in NXT and TNA that he is part of that. He should, because he lost that last match, he should make his way to the roster and be in the roster. Look, you got to you can't the NXT is there for a reason. They got to build a brand. Yes. If I was in charge, I would bring up half the damn roster because they're good. But you need to have. How long
has Carmelo Hayes been on the roster? How long has Carmelo Hayes been on the main roster?
2 years.
2 years? It took him 2 years to get a match that made him stand out above the rest. It took him 2 years and Gunther to make him finally jump out at people.
Building stars. Gunther, what about Gunther? Gunther's a star from NXT. Yeah, he's a star.
They put a rocket ship to his ass.
Yeah, exactly. They built him. So you have that star power with Gunther. Solo Sikoa, part of the Bloodline. Yes, it's a little slow with the MFTs and all that stuff like that. But he's coming into his own because he did put out a banger of a match on Monday night. I can tell you that.
I give that credit to Gunther.
I give the Gunther too. But that match was one of the best parts of that Monday night.
Because you know what? That is the first Solo Sikoa match.
Yep.
Since he's been on the main roster that has even been remotely worth talking about.
That was predicted his best match since he came up.
Hands down.
But look, you gotta look. It's happening in everything. If you look at Hollywood, the landscape of Hollywood, storytelling is bad. They're all going to AI for freaking storytelling, which makes no sense because there are good writers out there. Listen, I'm telling you, the build up to certain things. Look, you got part-time guys, you got guys that are almost senior citizens that shouldn't be wrestling, but this is because of the landscape, the way things are. You know, you're holding on to nostalgia like CM Punk. CM Punk, for 10 years, they begged him to come back. Begged him to come back. He finally came back. So, yes, he's older. He's 45, but you know what? They're going to build. Look, Braun Breaker. Look at Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is becoming a breakout star in a heartbeat, and he will be champion. I'm telling you, January 5th, I wouldn't be surprised that they put the belt on friggin' Braun Breaker on January 5th.
You have to. You have to.
Yeah,
they have no choice.
The anniversary of Netflix, the anniversary of the first that show has to be spectacular. And now all the heat that Triple H is getting because of the Survivor Series and the Monday night, the epic Monday night that wasn't so epic. It wasn't a bad show. It was a good show. It was an entertaining show. I enjoyed it, but not epic to a point where holy shit. But
I'll tell you right now,
should be. It's what
if I'm booking WWE,
what it should be
going into WrestleMania season next year. All right. I know we've talked to Sami Zayn ad nauseum about Sami Zayn winning the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm booking WWE going into next year, if he's ready, I'm booking Seth Rollins to win the Royal Rumble. I'm actually booking, I'm booking Braun Breaker to take the title off of CM Punk January 5th. I'm booking Seth Rollins to come back at the Royal Rumble, win the Royal Rumble, challenge Braun Breaker for that championship. And then I'm booking CM Punk to win the Elimination Chamber in Chicago to face Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship on night 2 of WrestleMania. That's what I'm doing. To me, that is a no-brainer. That is where your money is. That's going to sell tickets to WrestleMania.
That is also you'll have Gunther versus freaking goddamn Brock Lesnar. So you have something like that, which would be a bang of a match too. Look, Seth Rollins is coming back because he's actually going to be in attendance on January 5th. He's going to be there on January 5th.
Well, he was at Raw. He was Survivor Series, but he's not cleared to wrestle.
He's not cleared to wrestle yet. But the whole fact is that he could have some significant.
And I'm going to say, everybody out there who's saying that the masked man was Seth Rollins, pull your head out of your ass. It's not Seth Rollins. They want you to think it's Seth Rollins. It is not Seth Rollins.
In a little bit, let's talk about the masked man. We all know who it is, but I'm just saying. But give your thoughts on who you want it to be. All right, we'll talk about that. Who you want it to be. You know, there's a lot of theories out there that, you know, Austin theory. There's a lot of theories out there that actually
not him either.
That have other options on who it could possibly be. Look, let's do the Survivor Series.
Right.
Let's take care of that, and then we'll talk about the Monday night, and then we'll talk about our speculation that we know who it is, but who would you want to see as the masked man?
We know who they want us to think it is. We know who they want us to think it is.
I know.
Who was under that mask was not Austin Theory.
I agree with you. Now, I think it was Austin Theory, or it was supposed to be Austin Theory.
And I think they changed it now.
I think they're changing exactly because they're slow playing it, and they're taking for, like Vince Russo said on his show. You had this masked man come out, attack all the baby faces, and not a single one of them was on Raw. Jey Uso was on Raw long enough to lose, take 10 minutes standing there, throw a hissy fit, and leave the building.
Let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. Do you think about this? I said we'll talk about it later, but now I got something came in my head now. Say if they have multiple masked men.
Oh God.
Have a multiple masked man situation. You have the masked man that actually did do the Survivor Series, but have another angle and throw other people, like the people that are people discussing that who they sit behind the mask, have them, and you can have multiple masked men that are doing like for freaking El Grande Americano, have multiple like that, but have maybe 3 or 4 masked men show up like, oh, we revealed the masked man, and then all of a sudden you have at the end of Raw another masked man comes and interferes with something. Who the hell is this? And then you have to wait because we thought that this guy was the bad.
Why? So we get another Spider-Man meme with all these dudes in masks standing around the Vision, pointing at each other.
Yeah,
like, hey!
But you know what? It could, if they do it right, it could be a pretty fun angle to do something like that that would make sense. And all the guys that they're talking about that could be behind the mask are all the masked men. Yeah. But you prolong it, you wait. See, if I'm Triple H, you reveal the masked man January 5th. In that Monday Night Raw.
It's Sting. Yeah, it is. It's Sting.
In that Monday Night Raw, you will reveal the masked man at the end when Braun Breaker fights CM Punk for that belt.
Dude, yeah, I know. And that's what they're going to do. But come on, you're going to make us wait.
But you know what? But what you should do is have clues.
You're going to make us wait 5-6 weeks to find out. You're going to go through 6 weeks of them drawing out this masked man bullshit.
No, wait. But you have a masked man on SmackDown. You have a masked man on Monday Night Raw. You have this angle where it's like the masked man there, but you reveal the masked man, the so-called masked man that kicked CM Punk to help Braun Breaker pin him. So we'll see. But anyway, let's do the Survivor Series.
That sounds too Scooby-Doo to me.
I know, but you know what? It can be fun if they do it right.
All right.
It was me, Austin. It was me all along.
Man.
Austin did that in NXT.
Ministry of Darkness.
Johnny DeGrasse. He had the scream mask.
At this point, it should be
all
Vince.
along.
At this point, it should be Vince. Vince should be the masked man. Vince should have climbed that cage and hit CM Punk with that curb stomp. It should have been Vince.
He would have broke his quads again.
Yo, and then you have Dolph Ziggler. It should have been me.
Yep.
It wasn't Chris Jericho. Come on. Let's be real.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, here we go. Women's match, Team AJ versus Team Becky.
Come on, I told you Babyface was winning this match.
I know, but you know what? I was very surprised on that she wound up putting in a submission mode, figuring to hold again, to have her tap out a second time. That was kind of lame, man. I think that was lame. I actually
I love all the women in this match, but this is probably the worst women's match.
You know what the worst thing about the women's match was?
Io Sky screwing up the trash can jump off the top of the cage.
Standing there for a whole minute. They're standing there looking up at the thing. Come on.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
She gets handed the trash can by Rhea Ripley that has her name on it.
Yeah, exactly. You know what the funny thing is that I tell you what, man, friggin' you gotta hand it. Io Sky is the most athletic. She is. And her like every year it's gonna be a trash can thing. What is she gonna go on top of the fucking ring next time? Go up higher and jump off of the, But
well, that's what I was gonna say. Is she gonna do that every year that we get a WarGames? I gotta jump off with that can on my head again. That's gonna be known as Can Lady pretty soon.
Dude, I think it needs to be 3 years.
You got a trash can company named after her now. They got a trash can. It's kind of funny.
WarGames to Triple H is
the
what Hell in a Cell is to Vince McMahon. They've
Listen,
both killed this concept. They've both killed this idea. We don't need Survivor Series every year to be a WarGames.
The last year of WarGames, go back to the traditional 5-on-5. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
5-on-5. Go back to the original 5-on-5 and just take it there. But the one thing that's disappointed me the most on this, that you had the opportunity of having friggin' Charlotte and friggin' Alexa Bliss turn heel right there. And it could have been really epic. They could have did something like that. Yeah. I tell you what, not for anything, man. Friggin' Lash Legend. She did good. I can't wait for her to face Jade Cargill. I can't wait for her to face Jade Cargill down the road, for the belt. But she wore her engagement ring from Trick Williams. It turned it the other way. It was kind of crazy, but
she probably forgot she had it on.
Maybe she did. And AJ Lee did hardly nothing in the match. Everything is and look, Rhea Ripley. Her name comes up. Her music comes up.
Watch it, Dom, because we all know that you were the gooner that took her photo and put it in AI and made it look like she was kissing you.
Oh yeah.
We all know you were that gooner.
That dude,
right?
Yeah. That's what I do now for a living, man.
Top goon right there.
That's gooning. I love the new. I love the cat. I love the words. All these words for these dumb things that people fucking do. You know what? The women's, it was predictable. It could have been better. But I do have to applaud. Look, it was nothing like the blood and gut match from AEW. I can tell you that. When they put this side by side, this match side by side with their blood and guts match.
Yeah, I saw that meme. It says one of these is called WarGames.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. And they played it safe. They played it safe, and
they always do.
That's the reason why Triple H, the creative of Triple H, he plays it safe too much.
Yep, 100%.
So that's why, and that's that's one of the bad reasons why he's having issues with storytelling and stuff that's going on. You don't take the chances that could actually make things really take off. If he did it, if he took off the safety net, you're gonna have a better show.
I'm going to kind of go back to something you started to say earlier, that they don't these wrestlers, they don't have time to practice or build up these matches like they used to.
Yep.
Back in the day, and not very long ago, you'd have time to work behind the scenes on something, or in a non-televised arena, like in a dark match or what have you, and work on moves with your opposition, so that when you got to these type of PLEs or matches, a big match, you had your choreography in. Now, did it always go to plan? No, but at least you'd have a basis of what you're going to do with that person or persons. You don't have that anymore. We got these PLEs, like Dom has said before. Hold a second, Dom. You getting them too close together. I get it. You wanted them close together. You wanted to get out of that Peacock deal. You wanted to get into that ESPN deal. Guess what? You did. Peel it back a little bit. You don't need them every 2 weeks.
Actually,
we don't need them every 3 weeks.
It
used to be once a month.
Yeah.
And that was it. Now it's, December 3rd, December 17th, January 5th.
But to throw that in, to play off that, Sticks, you have some of the biggest professionals in the business in this match.
Yep.
You have AJ Lee, who's a pro, Charlotte, who's a pro, Alexa, who's a pro, Rhea, who's a pro, Becky Lynch, who's a pro, Asuka, who's a pro. They should be able to call this match on the fly and call spots on the fly, and it still be interesting.
I agree, but guess what? Even professionals need to practice. Even professionals need to know what they're going to do. You can't just, yes, you're a professional. You can make things up as you go. But if that other person isn't with you and know something that you're going to do, it's going to go sideways or not at all. Even professionals need to practice. And that's a proven fact.
Andre would call the match in the ring. There's that story with him and Hogan. When he's going to beat Hogan.
Yeah.
And he slams Hogan. Hogan is trying to ask him, "What are we doing, Andre? What are we doing, Andre?" And Andre just keeps laughing him off and says, "Oh, we'll call it in the ring."
That's a different scenario, because Andre, as big as he wasn't but
is
he's
Charlotte
not someone
Flair
who's going to
not
be
14-time world champion?
Absolutely, she is.
Okay, so that as a 14-time world champion, she should be able to call spots in the match and make the match interesting. The chemistry. I mean, shit, WWE has poured everything they have into Charlotte Flair, and I'm actually I like Charlotte's babyface character.
She's only one person, though. I mean, you got 5 people in there.
I mean, regardless if she looks like she's coming out wearing my fat guy clothes before I lost 190 pounds, but whatever. That's the style now, I guess. So trendsetter, but I like what they're doing with Charlotte Flair. The slow play of this match, like Dom said, Io Sky taking forever on top of the cage to slowly put the trash can on to do the move, to the point where I believe someone was saying she was so hurt after that she couldn't even do her little point thing at the end.
because you saw the way she landed. And look, you're right. You're 100% right about the veterans that were champions that can call their spots and make things happen. Look, if you look at this roster, you have 10 women. Yes, Lash Legend, she's a rookie. She's just starting out, this and that. But she put on some bangers in NXT. That's the reason why she's in this predicament. She had great matches in NXT.
Right.
But look,
she is what they want Jade Cargill to be. I said it.
There you go. You're right. Look, and Jade Cargill will get better. And the only reason why I think that Jade Cargill, and I'm going to say it, and people are going to get mad, and I know Jade Cargill got mad at people that she should have went to NXT to really worked on a lot of key spots that she needed. And because another thing, they cut the house shows. So you cut the house shows, so you really don't have time to learn certain things. And you got to blame TKO about that too. That some of the wrestlers that actually need those house shows to become better, they took them away. Look, we know what we get with Nia Jax. Becky Lynch is the ringleader, and AJ Lee.
That's a loaded statement, Dom, because I don't feel like you know what you get with Nia Jax. You're either going to get really good Nia or
you're really bad.
Wildly mediocre Nia.
Look, Becky Lynch. You have AJ Lee, who passed the torch to Becky Lynch. Back in the day. So you have AJ Lee and Becky Lynch, two pioneers right there that actually said Charlotte Flair definitely is a pioneer for what she got. Alexa Bliss has put her time and effort in that, and she's a veteran now. You have Asuka, who is, before she's still coming back from that knee, that leg injury, this and that, and she's starting to get better. And you got Kali Singh, who's actually great, but she's underutilized on what she should have been used before. If she did get hurt, she came back, this and that. Then you got Rhea Ripley, she puts her blood guts in everything that she does and she is a superstar, a megastar, not in the making, but is a megastar because when her music comes on, the crowd goes insane.
I loved that Art the Clown mask she had on it.
Exactly. She's actually going to be in freaking Hellfire 4. She's got,
I know.
That's about it. And Io Sky is one of the best wrestlers on the planet.
Oh, you think so?
But they utilizing her with all these other things, jumping in trash cans, all these things. Have her fight. Let me tell you something. All kidding aside, they put her in the fight with Stephanie Vakir. They interrupted it with the friggin' Judgment Day coming out and all that stuff like that. But the whole fact is that Julia coming out, she's good, but they keep playing things safe. And I understand they don't want people to get hurt. But you know what? When you play it safe too much, people get hurt twice as much for playing it safe. The reason why the Attitude Era worked so much was that people got thrown through tables. They didn't give a shit. Everybody was doing their thing. And you can't blame the women for the lackluster show that it was. It was what was written and what was given to them to do. And it's sad because, like you said, some of these women should have the say on what they're going to do and how their character is going to perform and what they're going to, hopefully, after the negative feedback for this Survivor Series, they rethink for next year. And I would hope to God that they would go back to the traditional 5-on-5. Take WarGames out of the scenario for now. Next couple of years, you bring back WarGames.
Well,
WarGames
can be a match on its own. It doesn't need to be the PLE.
Well, I know
you can have WarGames in SummerSlam. You can have it wherever. It doesn't have to be a Survivor Series.
And that's the thing. And the same thing with Money in the Bank. Put Money in the Bank back in WrestleMania.
I like Money in the Bank being its own thing. I
know,
like that.
But wouldn't you like the idea of WrestleMania? You get the guy who's going to fight WrestleMania. Next thing you know, the guy wins, and you have
I mean that surprise aspect is cool. But yeah, for sure. But I also like it being its own pay-per-view. What WarGames needs, just like Hell in a Cell, when Hell in a Cell started, Hell in a Cell was a means to an end. It was a means to an end of the feud. Your feud got built up so bad that the only way to finish it was inside Hell in a Cell. Undertaker, Shawn Michaels.
Yep.
Undertaker, Triple H. You know, that was it. That was the only way to Undertaker, Mick Foley. That was the only way to settle it, was Hell in a Cell. That's what WarGames should be. WarGames should not be a mishmash of people on men's or women's side. The men's side had a little bit more story than the women's side, but there was no reason for Becky Lynch to be in this. There was no reason for AJ Lee to be in this. There should have been storyline driven, or you don't need the match. We don't need a WarGames match just to have a women's WarGames match. It needs to be the means to an end. Like, this has to be a feud. Like, the only two people that make sense for this match are Io and Rhea, Asuka and Kyrie. Nikki Bella belonged in this match because she was having problems with Asuka.
Yep.
That's it. Like, it needs to go to be a means to an end, and it's not that. It's just another gimmick that WWE is pulling out of their ass once a year because they need a theme for their PLEs. And because their rosters are so depleted, you can't have a 5-on-5 traditional match for Survivor Series. Like, it should have been like this year, especially knowing that TNA was getting that TV deal with AMC, knowing that once they got that, signed that deal, it was going to automatically enact the 60-day cancellation of their agreement. It should have been WWE versus NXT versus TNA. It should have been a team from the main roster, a team from NXT, and a team from TNA for Survivor Series, in traditional 5-on-5 or traditional Survivor Series format.
Yep, I agree.
That's what it should have been.
But, you know, look, as another thing, you see story, like, I understand the story between Io Sky, you know, and Rhea Ripley with Asuka and Kyrie. I understand that. You know, Becky Lynch, you're right. Becky Lynch and AJ Lee should have their own feud for themselves because they're the ones that are fighting with each other. You know, instead of being on the teams, do your thing. They got to have other people come to the roster that could have been on the team. Hey, look, you know, you could have had Maxine Dupree be on the good guys team because now she is the champion, the Intercontinental Female Champion, and you could have had. You're right. What could have happened? You could have had Nikki Bella go on the other bad guy side, and you would have had that, and then you would have AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch, you know, 1-on-1. You know, finally to determine, you know, coming back. You can have many things. All right, now fine. All right, it's over. It's said and done. And like I said, I think that the negative feedback and the word on how this Survivor Series was, you know, you can rest assured that next year it's going to be totally different.
I don't think it is because Raw on Monday night was no different. Triple H came out and said Raw is going to be epic, and there was nothing. It was an okay show, but there was nothing epic about it. It was no different
epic about it. But I did like the ending with the women coming out at the end, and I like that.
Dude, the ending was just insert women wrestlers for
because now listen,
division.
I know, but you know what? But the whole thing. But you understand that at the end of every Raw, there's either division and have something else. But it did show all these teams, and it was a hell of a match between Rhea Ripley, Io Sky versus versus Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. It was a hell of a match until the Kabuki Warriors came out.
It was.
And all kidding aside, that it was great. It was cool to see all, like the whole women roster coming out, and you know, and freaking Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan and freaking what's the face? I give Raquel.
But I'll throw this at you too, though, because I said it in the chat. As cool as that was, why are we putting all of our main talent in a mid-card titles? Why are all of these women who are world championship material vying for mid-card women's tag team championship titles that belong in NXT? They shouldn't be on the main roster.
I know, but the whole fact is that you have to build up. You have to build the teams because Liv Morgan is going for the championship. She's going to fight.
What's the build up? No, I honestly think Liv Morgan's going to go for the Intercontinental Championship.
No, Liv Morgan's going is going to fight Stephanie Fakir. That's what I do not think that's going to happen.
Did
you see the the
I
backstage-
saw it, but I'm
Yeah.
telling you, when she handed that belt to Roxanne,
Yeah.
I 100% think she's going to face, and she's going to be the first one to take that belt off of Maxine Dupree. Liv Morgan is going to take the Intercontinental Championship off Maxine Dupree. They are not going to put her against Stephanie and have her lose to Stephanie. And they're not going to have Stephanie. If anything, Nikki Bella was the veteran in that match on Saturday night. If they were going to take that belt off Stephanie, they would have given it to Nikki. They didn't do that. They don't want to do that. They don't want it to let Stephanie take that loss. They're not going to have Liv Morgan come back from injury and beat Stephanie right away. I'm telling you right now, she's taking that Intercontinental Championship off Maxine Dupree. First chance she gets. And that's what Judgment Day is going to be. Then we're going to see Judgment Day kick Dom and Liv out. She's not taking that belt off Stephanie yet.
Nope. I agree.
She's there. There's no way, because they didn't let Charlotte come back from it, even though Charlotte's notorious from coming back from injury. And I think that's why they won't do it, because that Charlotte is now. We were saying it, or I was saying in WrestleMania, and a lot of people were saying, there's three things in life: death, taxes, and Charlotte Flair winning a championship after injury.
Yeah, true.
Like I don't think that they're going to do that anymore. So they would have put the belt on Alexa Bliss by now. Charlotte would have held it again by now. I mean, Rhea would have by now. Like all of your big players right here are now all of a sudden in the women's tag team championship, when you got rid of actual women's tag teams. You got rid of Cade and Carter and Chance, who are an actual women's tag team.
Yeah.
Now you got Ivy Nile that, yes, by all intents and purposes, belongs in that mid card for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yep.
But I'm going to tell you who I think is going to go after Stephanie. You want me to tell you who I think is going to go after Stephanie? Natty Neidhart. Not Natalia, Natty, because that's what they're letting her come back as. Now that she's sitting there, did that whole vignette of her training Maxine Dupree, it's Natty that's coming for Stephanie. That's who's going to challenge Stephanie. I don't know what WWE is doing.
No, you're right, Matt. The fact is that they want to make new stars with the championship belt, and I understand you want to build that mid card up. You have like a Liv Morgan. You're right. You have a Liv Morgan. You have a anybody in this lineup right here can go for the belt, for the
They
mid
should
card
have
belt.
put these belts on Sol Ruka and Zarya when they were fighting for them. Let them take them back to NXT, have them be NXT titles, and away we go. We don't need women's tag team championships on the main roster anymore.
You do.
They're obsolete.
Yeah, but you need the same type of belts like the men division have. You need to really do that. Look, to build. Look, okay, aside.
You got 2 shows. You got 3 shows.
WWE is notorious for taking 2 veterans and putting them together and forming a tag team and having that. That's what they're good for. They've done that with the men's division and the female division. So this is no different. Listen, we were all getting mad that freaking goddamn Charlotte kept going for the championship. Now she's in a tag team. She was tag team championship, going for the other tag teams. Yes, down the road she will go for the freaking goddamn belt down the road.
But you don't really get those legendary tag teams from that. Like, really, you got what? Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas. Look at the Hardy Brothers. They were a tag team from the beginning. The Rock and Roll Express.
I know.
Midnight Express.
The Midnight Express.
The
Road Warriors. Like
Freebirds.
Freebirds. Yo, you had freaking goddamn. You had the freaking natural
Von
disasters.
Erichs.
The natural disasters, man.
Mm-hmm.
Tidal wave and freaking goddamn earthquake. You know,
They did their single run too.
Hey, you had the Mega Power. Hey, didn't you? You have the Mega Power. Didn't you have Hulk Hogan and freaking Macho Man be tag teams? Come on.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They were, but
for what, 6 months?
You know,
Yeah.
so they were. But they were. But the whole fact is that they were. You took 2 big stars that could be championship as tag. So they do this throughout the whole entire thing. It's part of the traditional wrestling. You know, look. Let me tell you something. Becky Lynch made the Intercontinental Championship, gave it some flavor for, and now
Absolutely.
listen.
Without
And
question.
look, and I actually like the fact that Maxine Dupree has it because she's a new star. They're trying to make new stars. Yeah, you got to build up these players. And look, and down the road, you're right. Liv is probably going to take it from Maxine Dupree to take that belt. And and look, they're building a new star. Stephanie Fakir is champion. You got a brand new star right there in the making. You want to at least have that belt to fight in WrestleMania. To fight that belt. Is she going to hold on to the belt? We don't know. They might take it off her, this and that. But at least going to WrestleMania, having that belt, and you find out who your opponent is going to be from Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble is 2 months away. You're going to have a Royal, so you're going to find out in 2 months who she's going to face.
Unless they try to take their shot at Jade Cargill, and then you got to wait till Elimination Chamber to find out.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. You're right. We're waiting. Freaking Bianca Belair is coming back. That's who's going to fight Jade Cargill. That's who they're waiting for. But I'm telling you, I keep telling you this. Jade Cargill is going to try to take the belt off of freaking Chelsea Green. She keeps interfering in Chelsea Green stuff, and she's going to take the belt. She's going to be double champion. That's what they want. They're going to do that. And then when Bianca Belair comes back, reality check. Because they want to put the belt back on Bianca Belair because down the road. So that's going to be the epic match down the road. So they're building to that. And she should be back by Royal Rumble.
Or Tiffany, or put it back on Tiffany.
Or put it back on Tiffany. And Tiffany's coming back. She'd be back. She should be back by WrestleMania, by Royal Rumble. So we're getting the women's division is going to start taking off. And now you have all these new women that are going to come in. And look, Natty, she might win and take the belt off of Maxine. You're right. She might take it off her fighter take the belt. But they're going to put that Intercontinental Championship now on veterans. After they're going to build the stars, have a star take it. Like, look, you had you had freaking what's her face, Valkyria. Valkyria have the belt for a while, and then you had Becky Lynch take it. And now Maxine Dupree has it, and now you'll have a veteran take it. So it's going to go back and forth to build up that mid card. And look, Julia, what happened to Julia? She's like out of the freaking picture now. I would like to see her come back strong. I'd like to see her win. I'd like to see her win the tag team championship. Her and what's her face that she's with. That's another tag team there. Look, you build up these tag teams on Raw because eventually they are gonna have the brand split again because you have too many people. Look, SmackDown's going to 3 hours, so you're gonna build that up. You're gonna build new stars on SmackDown when that time comes. But right now, I like the way they're pushing the women's division. Everybody's getting a chance, and that's what you want to see. All the old veterans. You have them go for other things, so they're not going for the belts. Down the road, you let them go. They're one more run or 2 more runs for the belt down the road. But let this happen. And look, do you ever think that they're going to put the belt on freaking AJ Lee? Maybe AJ Lee down the road wins the belt down the road. But right now, her feud is with Becky Lynch, and that's going to stay up at least up until WrestleMania.
I think she should have taken the Intercontinental Championship off her. I don't think you should put the world title back on her, just like I don't think you should have put the world title on Nikki Bella. That's why I said Stephanie was going to win that match. But look, in the same breath, like
we got to see if AJ a player first, because when she wrestled at SummerSlam, then she was gone for 3 months, and then she wrestles again, gone for she might be gone for another 3 months.
Look, I'm going to tell you this: I would not be surprised.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you.
Hey, listen, I wouldn't be surprised. Jade Cargill takes the belt from Chelsea Green, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fights Lash Legend down the road, and Lash Legend wins the U.S. Championship. I guarantee in the next few months, Lash Legend is going to have the U.S. Championship. I guarantee that. Because they're going to build up stars, and those mid cards are going to be the turning point for new stars.
Why do we gotta wait?
Hey, listen,
I think they should have just put it on her already.
No, it's the waiting game. You got to go through the process. Give it time, because let me tell you something. Chelsea Green is going to come back to the main roster. She's going back and forth. Ethan Page is definitely coming up to the main roster pretty soon. He's going to lose the belt at AAA. They're going to lose the belt. They're going to come up once they start depleting NXT. Look, Sol Ruka, Zarya, freaking goddamn what's his thing? The family, what's his name?
Tony D'Angelo.
D'Angelo, he could be underneath the mask. He could be one of the masked men, the masked guy that kicked freaking goddamn. That would be a twist if he's one of the masked. He's one of the guys that's in the mask. That'd be a twist. You have him. D'Angelo. You have Ricky Saints is Ofemi are going to be going at it at Deadline. I think if Ofemi wins the belt back from Ricky Saints is coming up to the main roster. If that happens, so you're going to have your main roster people come up, and the landscape is going to change. You know, me personally, I actually like the fact with the partnership with TNA because you could take those belts and have those belts as part of you have a faction. You have one of those belts as part of your collection. Not like the girls go for the knockout championship. Grab one of those. One of these girls can have the knockout championship. So there's many options, and I think that down the road you'll see new stars being created. What you're seeing right now, and the older stars are going to fade away and have their one more run. Isn't that? Come on, if Chris Jericho comes back soon, you don't think they're going to freaking try to put a championship belt on him? Man, come on, you'd be dumb not to give this guy a championship belt. So, give or take, regardless of the fact, the championship belts are going to be with the veterans for a little bit, this and that. And I wouldn't be surprised.
Someone's dinner's done.
Yeah, no, my wife's making tea. I wouldn't be surprised that Roman Reigns wins the belt one more time before he calls it quits.
Well, that's what, if you're listening, like I said, listen to Dave Meltzer. That's your main event of night 2 of WrestleMania 42. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes.
Wow.
Let's move on.
Stephanie.
All right. Stephanie Bakir retains over Nikki Bella.
Nikki Bella looked scrumptious in that match.
He did.
She looked good for 41.
41 is not old.
Yeah.
No, I know it's not. I'm just saying, like, she looked good.
Yeah, she did.
I like the new Bella Gone Bad
I
outfit.
guess wearing black makes you a heel when you wear black. It's like having a goatee makes you a bad guy. When Spock had the goatee in Star Trek, Mirror.
Yeah.
Hot Rod.
Yeah.
Hot Rod had the goatee in Shattered Glass, and he also had it in War of the Primes. You're bad. When you grow up, so dressing in black makes you.
That's an old Western trope too. I mean, you got the black hat, you got the black outfit, you got a goatee. You're probably the bad guy.
Yeah. So the bad.
Yeah.
But
I would like to see him put a goatee on Nikki Bella. I think that'd be pretty interesting.
So you saw her, so you saw them do the she did the devil's kiss on the announce table.
Yep.
That was very entertaining.
Michael Cole. That's the closest I've ever been to the devil's kiss.
But apparently, I think Nikki Bella got mad. There was I think when Stephanie did that, there was like something happened. There was like a mishap with the devil's kiss on the desk. So,
maybe.
The next time you see Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, we won't be far behind. I actually thought that Brie was going to come out, but it is what it is.
I mean, I don't know. The right person, in my opinion, won in this match, except for, I will throw this caveat in. You kind of bury Nikki Bella at being she talks up being the former Divas champion and, the veteran and how she's this trailblazer and she started the women's revolution and yada, yada, yada. But then you just have Stephanie bury her.
Yeah.
She loses to a rookie.
Yep.
And Stephanie's been doing it for a long time. I mean, as far as WWE goes, she's looked at as a rookie, but like you just have Nikki Bella just show up and absolutely bury her.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think the crowd is loud enough when she comes out, or you think the crowd is more laid back and not as like when freaking guy Rhea Ripley comes out, that crowd cheers like crazy.
This crowd,
this crowd in the Survivor Series, they were booing, dude.
No.
How do you boo?
They were horrible.
They were
Bad
booing.
crowd.
I don't think you can blame the crowd because you got to remember they were in an open air stadium, so it's always harder for the crowd to sound loud and crazy in an open air stadium.
Yeah, true. But this match was good. Nikki made Stephanie look better. And Nikki did pretty good. Coming back and doing what she did. I think she did a great job. On what she performed. So we'll see.
I didn't have any problem with this match.
See, you're right. Look, you're right. To have Liv go after friggin' Stephanie right now to go to the belt, which kind of sucks that you have you had the rookie, the diva, and the veteran in Nikki Bella, and have it one time. But she did say years at the last you heard of Nikki Bella. She's going to come back. So I wouldn't be surprised that we have her attack Stephanie again.
Well, look, I'm not saying we won't get Liv Morgan versus Stephanie. I think we will. And I'm not saying that won't even be for the women's championship. I'm just saying I don't see Liv beating Stephanie for that championship right now.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get, like I said, I think they're going to give Liv the Intercontinental Championship. I think she's going to be the one that takes it off Maxine Dupree. And I think you're going to have Natty Neidhart come after the World Championship. She's going to be Stephanie's. Because they like that they're impressed with Natty's stuff, what she's doing with Maxine Dupree. They like the Natty Neidhart gimmick when she's been doing it in Bloodsport for GCW. And
but now they're finally accepting it. They didn't want to use it before.
Yep, and they're going to bring her to rumor is they're bringing her to TV and they're ready to give her a massive push. So I'm telling you, she's going to go right after Stephanie. Because she said she even said she likes this Natty Neidhart character. It's who she used to portray in the dungeon. It's who she's always wanted to bring out. And so she's going to go right after the head, the BIC or HBIC, head bitch in charge.
Okay.
Right. So,
that's just what I see. That's how I would book it.
Yeah. I feel we called this match the right way. So, and it was the right way it went. Ooh, he was gonna. All right, up next here.
You spelled Dominic wrong. That's not how he said Dominic spelled. He spells his name different than me.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Yeah. He spells it Dominik. There's no C.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll remember that.
I'm Dominic. He's not.
You spell it Dickhead, huh?
Go ahead and talk, man. I have to step off for a second. Sorry.
Oh, who called this one with pure 100% unadulterated greatness? Liv Morgan
all right. You pat yourself on your back. Pat yourself on the back, and then freaking goddamn give yourself a freaking jizz bath.
I did. I just was like, oh, let it rain on me, baby. Like, I called it. Listen.
Hey, listen. You know what? I didn't think that she was coming out. I thought that more you would get because the El Grande Americano gimmick, they're helping them. What the hell? They haven't been around the wall. Where the hell they been? They haven't fought. I kind of think that, that would have been the most logical thing, but they brought back Liv. I think Liv came back a little bit quicker than, a little sooner. She worked hard to come back sooner, and that was, it was great bringing her back. She brings more of a presence feeling in Judgment Day.
What's with this all of a sudden just slapping Dom?
Yo, that's a new thing. Did you see when she slapped him on Monday night and kissed him?
Yeah.
I was kissing him and you feel Finn Balor like, holy shit. Like,
yeah.
Yep. Look, this is what's going to happen. You're going to have a major push from Judgment Day. You're going to have the Judgment Day, JD McDonough and freaking goddamn Finn Balor go back for the tag team championships. You're going to have freaking Roxanne Perez and freaking Rodriguez and freaking Rodriguez go for the women's tag team championships, and then you're gonna have she's gonna go for that. They're gonna try to go for all the championships now. So listen, I think JD McDonough and freaking Finn Balor are great, as a tag team. But I want to see JD McDonough go after other things. He should be in the Intercontinental Championship. He should be a, they should bring back more championships like the freaking goddamn the TV championship. bring back like something else so other people can have some championships.
We don't need this isn't fucking everybody gets a participation
No,
trophy.
I'm just saying, but no. I'm just saying you should have.
You get a championship.
AEW
And you get a championship, and you get a championship.
AEW
And you
is
get a
doing that.
championship.
They're getting blasted.
Everyone on the roster gets a championship.
Listen, my thing is that you should have.
I got the 8 p.m. championship.
We're gonna bring back the
You have back the
European
Internet Championship.
We're gonna bring back the European Championship, the TV Championship, the Hardcore Championship.
Well, listen, hey, I actually like the fact that
24/7 championship.
you got Logan Paul going fighting Rey Mysterio, going. I'm going after your son. I want that Intercontinental Championship. So that means you're gonna have heel versus heel again. Down the road, it's gonna be pretty cool. I like.
They're turning Dom face. I question whether Liv's motives are, because it's weird to have Liv Morgan come back and open Raw and not mention any mention of Roxanne trying to sneak her way in there and taking her new best friend and Raquel,
Well,
and taking her spot in the Judgment Day and trying to hit on Dom and feed Dom nuggies.
I actually think with the fact is that I think Raquel Rodriguez was talking to her on a regular basis, and also they had the picture of her in the office where they are, this and that. So she was there. Yeah, she didn't like Roxanne Perez, but I think she was watching what Roxanne Perez did, that she was doing everything she can to try to make Judgment Day to try to help. And I think that kind of like, so, Liv. But on the other hand, I think Liv has one eye open to seeing what the deal is, because you're right. What's going to happen is down the road that I think Judgment Day you're gonna have Liv and Roxanne take out the friggin' Liv down the road. That's a definite. And you're gonna have Finn Balor take out Dirty Dom down the road. It's gonna happen. They're gonna become face because eventually they want Dom face.
And we learned that Dom is a terrible boyfriend, and if you leave from injury, he just moves on.
Yep.
Because apparently he didn't even call Liv or see Liv at all, because she's like, "Oh, I miss this little face of yours." Like, oh, he didn't know how to work the time change in Japan when she was filming in Japan, and he's just terrible boyfriend. Terrible.
Hey, we don't care. He's Dirty Dom.
But this match here makes me question: does John Cena lose to Gunther at Saturday Night Main Event, or does John Cena go out on top at Saturday Night Main Event? Because usually, as we all know, when you're retiring, your last match is against an up and comer that they're trying to push, and you give that person the rub. I think this was him giving Dom the rub, giving the younger competitor the rub, and his last match at Saturday Night Main Event. Yeah, it's just going to be a pretty much straightforward match against Gunther, where I could see him coming out. I could see it going both ways. I could see him coming out on top and riding off into the sunset against Gunther, or I could see him losing to Gunther.
But Gunther how about this? How about it's not Gunther? How about it's LA Knight?
It's not going to be LA Knight.
How about they friggin' throw a ruse on us and make it LA Knight to fight John Cena? Because we all know that Gunther already has the push, he's already over on everybody.
WWE hates LA Knight.
And who's to say that this is John Cena's last match?
He did last night on Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah. Hey, you don't think that he'll be at WrestleMania?
No, he said definitively, without question, this is his last match in professional wrestling. He even said, "I've heard speculation in the fans online talking about me potentially doing one more match. It's time for you've got 6 weeks to come to grips with this is the last time you're going to see me in a WWE ring in a match, and that's it. I don't think he's going to wrestle again." Not saying he won't show up and do something to get involved, but I don't think he's going to have an actual match again. Okay. I think we need to accept that. It's time, Dom. It's time to let Mr. Cena go.
Let me wipe the tears. Oh man,
it's time.
I mean, he's moved on anyways. He's doing Hollywood.
It's time for you to finally let your wife take the "you can't see me" sheets off your bed. It's time to put the hustle, loyalty, and respect down comforter to bed. All right. Yeah. It's time to remove the Doctor of Thugonomics fitted sheet. It's time to let John Cena go. You can take off your My Time Is Now
Let it
underwear
go.
that you've been wearing.
Let it go.
Yep.
Nah, but you know what? You're right. I actually think he did rub off on Dirty Dom. He pushed Dirty Dom to give him the spotlight. And you know what? It would be great. He beats Gunther. But you know what? I don't think they want Gunther. Like you said, they want to make Gunther this entity, this bully that is like the badass heel, and that nobody can. You think about it. How about this? Do you think because he beat Solo and he beat the friggin' what's his face, Talatonga? What's his name? Like he kicked him in the nuts. He cheated.
Talatonga.
He cheated. Do you think that the MFTs come out if he faces John Cena, go after Gunther? But you see, I still think that friggin' making Solo lose, right, is kind of weakening him because now he's gonna fight Uncle Howdy, and now you make him strong against Uncle Howdy. It kind of like he beat, he won with a match with Penta because Penta got hurt. But the whole fact is that kind of made him like he beat Sami Zayn for the traditional 5-on-5 on Monday, but then you make him lose to Gunther to go after and fighting Uncle Howdy and the Wyatts. Now you're gonna have that match. You got to make him strong. It's kind of like you should have had like I don't know.
I think the question needs to be: does anybody care about the Wyatt 6 anymore?
No.
Or the MFTs?
Well,
because I mean, nobody cares about Jeff Cobb, which is a shame because he's a great wrestler. Nobody has cared about Tonga Loa.
You talk about burying someone. Poor Jeff Cobb.
Right?
Yeah.
Like nobody really cares about Tonga either. Like that took him fucking 3 years to finally debut.
Yeah.
Just about. That's what it feels like. We still haven't gotten Zilla.
I'll tell you what. We can go back to it. I'll give Triple H a pass, but I think the one guy that needs to go is Road Dogg. What he's doing on SmackDown is a disgrace. Because I don't know how you're going to fill 3 hours of SmackDown with. You've got about a half-hour show worth of talent right now.
Unless they're going to bring up some talent from NXT and have some crossovers from Raw guys. That's it.
They're going to have to.
What they have to do if they're going to. They need more players for that. I don't, they're not, like you say, they're not utilizing.
I actually think what they should do with the tag team championship, have one tag team championship and have guys from SmackDown and Raw battle for those championships and go back and forth. That you could have whoever could fight and then go back and forth to each show. I think if you do
they need to use all three brands for that because they don't have enough tag teams.
Well, they do. Well, SmackDown has pretty good tag. Well, listen, we don't know what Montez Ford and the Street Profits are happening. We don't know what they broke up because you haven't seen them.
We haven't seen the Motor City Machine Guns. We haven't seen DIY.
Well, Motor City Machine Guns, they fought on the 5-on-5 on Friday night.
Yeah, I know.
So you have. Hey, look, I actually think that what's his face is gonna take the belt from this guy from Dragunov, from DIY.
Johnny Gargano or Tommaso Ciampa?
Tommaso. I think because they're building up. Tommaso's going to fight him. He's probably going to fight him on June 5th. June 5th is going to be one of the matches.
Like I said, I want to know what happened to NXT Black and Gold Triple H, the guy who was booking, NXT takeovers that were more popular and a bigger draw than the main roster.
Well, the whole fact is, freaking TKO, man. TKO.
I could tell you many years ago when Becky Lynch won the Royal Rumble when it was here in Arizona, I went to both NXT TakeOver and that Royal Rumble, and I had so much more fun at NXT TakeOver watching Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano. Just so much more fun than the main roster. And Triple H can do that again, and he's got the talent. The talent is there. The guys are there. But we have to stop doing the same shit every week. I'm tired of the Judgment Day. They need to shake that up already. It's boring.
Well, listen, the Judgment Day. I think someone big should come into the Judgment Day. You have 3 women now. I think it should be 3 guys. I think you bring another guy into the fold. Well, you have 3 guys, but the whole fact is that you have 3 guys. But the whole fact is, I think that eventually you bring somebody else in. Remember when freaking Don was saying that,
I agree. I agree 100%, Kevin. What? He said the world is too soft now for wrestling like it was when it was good.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently,
100%. 100%.
Something from wrestling. It's not like a breaking news flash or anything like that. So Nick Khan explains how green shirt guy is always in front row seats. It says one of the sister companies of WWE and UFC is on location, so he pays for his own seats. He pays a premium for those seats though on location, and that's why he always gets to be in the front row.
Yeah, I've heard that he's some kind of like real estate investor. That's
he's got money.
I've heard all kinds of shit.
He's got a lot of money, man. So
yeah, he knows somebody that works for the company or like a family member. I've heard that he's a real estate investor. That he's got all this. He's got all this crazy money.
Yep.
So
that's why you're able to go to all the friggin' shows, man.
Good for him.
Hey, you know what, man?
Yeah.
Good for him. It makes popular green shirt guy. He's popular because of that. He's still not Domtober. That's right.
Who is?
One day, Domtober will be getting those premium things too. So we'll see.
Right.
Doug. Aw, man, Stakes, why'd you do that, man? The tears are coming back.
Rest in peace, Larry.
Well,
Yeah, Larry.
Yeah. This week we found out that CM Punk Larry had passed away.
And that's why he wasn't on Monday night.
Rest in peace, Larry.
Yeah, Larry.
I believe that's why he wasn't on Monday night, and then
they made it like he wasn't cleared after WarGames. That's what they said. That was loose.
Yeah. It's you lose it's a family member. You lose a family member. You need to have a little bit of time. No matter who it is, and that give credence to. They show that he had clutched his insignia. It said Larry's dad on his coat during Survivor Series. So rest in peace, Larry. It's never easy losing a family member, especially a pet. So my condolences go out to the Punk family, as all of us here on Off the Mat.
Yep.
There we go. All right. So then to get into the men's war games, we had team Cody versus Team Lesnar, where Team Lesnar came out on top. Not quite as F5-ish as we thought, but a win nonetheless.
I'm going to be totally honest with this. We were talking about that Jimmy was going to get taken out and somebody was going to come in. That never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Talked about the fact is that someone of the good guys were going to turn heel. That didn't happen. Nope. We thought that Brock Lesnar was going to get speared by Braun Breaker.
Yep.
That didn't happen. But he had that nasty fall on his neck. That was friggin' you see when he got after he got hit, he got up. He was like a goal like dazed. So that could have been a disaster. Lucky that everything was okay with that. It wasn't what we expect. It wasn't what I expected, and I think you agree with me. It wasn't what we expected.
No.
But
no, because we actually booked the match like it would be exciting.
Exactly.
And unsafe. We booked the match entertainingly.
I did say that Punk was going to take the fall. And I did say Logan Paul was going to friggin' pin CM Punk.
But he didn't. Braun Breaker
No,
did.
all because of the mystery man. So.
Oh, so you want a caveat? You want a caveat to that?
No.
Wait, what? Half point.
Listen. Matt won this thing. This was a shit show a debacle of pick, but I did pick the heels to win. You know, we all knew that the heels were going to win this and that.
We all knew the heels were winning.
No,
though. I mean,
because the heels winning,
announced Brock Lesnar on the team.
The heels winning makes the good guy scenario a little crazier. What's next? Like, we know that Braun Breaker's going after CM Punk. We know that, freaking now that what made me laugh is that Roman Reigns should have went ballistic and started fucking spearing everybody, because you're gonna lose. You have all the. He didn't want to team up with these guys to begin with. He only teamed them up because of the Usos, and the Usos friggin' sucked it up too. Did you see the part when friggin' Brock Lesnar was throwing people around? He threw Jay, he cracked his head in the table, and then he threw Punk right next to Jay and was landing on Jay. He didn't give a shit. He was throwing people all over the place.
Yeah.
But
WWE botched their own angle with the brass knuckles when they did the close-up of them, and you can see the line making it look like they're made out of like foam or 3D printed plastic or something, that they're not. They're just spray painted brass.
Yeah. And you know what? It is what it is. You know what? It's like, what about when Logan Paul had his lines on his hand and he was talking and he had the lines?
Yeah, and he had his promo written on his hand. Yep. Pulled an awesome Rock moment.
I know. But for what it was worth, how do you boo? Look who you had in the ring. You had Punk, Cody, Roman, Brock Lesnar, and you're booing this match because they played it safe. They played it safe. And it sucked. The whole fact is that the possibilities for this WarGames match. And did it deliver? Not what it could have been.
You opted to take the mask man angle.
Yep.
And want everyone to think that it's Seth Rollins. But it doesn't make sense, because why would Seth Rollins come in? And even though Punk is his mortal enemy, why would Seth Rollins come in and help the team that just betrayed him and kicked him out of the group to help beat
Unless
Punk?
The whole thing was a ruse.
Yeah.
Well, why would you have Rollins drop the World Heavyweight Championship if it was good, if he was just going to be back in a month?
Yeah, you're right. So it's not him. He is legitimately hurt. Because now, like I said, you have Seth Rollins comes back, and that angle would be cool because he'd be hunting down the members of Vision. And now you got Logan Paul, who's somewhat a member that they actually admitted. They wouldn't admit it on Survivor Series night, but they admitted it the Monday night that he is part of the. So that means he's going to be full time now. So, because he did put his.
He got a pity join. Come on.
Hey, I like it though. I think he fits great in that. I think
does.
Paul Heyman could help him take his career to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
So now, if it is Austin Theory, who's the masked man, because remember, Austin Theory did have a storyline angle with Logan Paul a couple years ago, like 2 years ago. There was a thing with the whole. Waller and stuff like that. They had something going on, so they could actually have that interact with the thing, and then eventually kick out. So look, this is the whole thing. I think they're gonna kick out Logan Paul, and they're gonna make him a babyface because Paul Heyman said he wants to make him a babyface because they hate him right now.
Mm-hmm.
They cheered. Did you see him when they cheered for him when he came out and he helped? He got beat up by the Vision, and he kind of came out with Punk, and then I think they get him out. He becomes a babyface. They're gonna make him a babyface, and that's what it'll be. He's not gonna be with the Vision long. He's there for now, but I think once the masked man is exposed to who it is, they kick him out. So
you don't think Paul is good at the heel?
You know what? I can tell you a bunch of wrestlers that are great as heels. He could be a heel. Like I could see Logan Paul an opportunist. Not a heel, but an opportunist.
Sure.
He can get something.
I think making him Logan Paul a heel is safe because he draws enough heat just for his YouTube career. People hate him just because of the Japan incident.
Oh yeah, they hate him even more. They They never even liked him to begin with, and then when he did the Japan thing, they kind of hated him more.
So him and his brother both. So making him heel just plays up to the crowd. If you could really sell him, yeah, like Kevin just said, Paul's easy to hate. If you could really sell him as a face, I think that's where
the money.
That's where the money.
That's
is.
a hard sell. That's a hard sell, but
I'm telling, but they're gonna push it to a point where they're gonna despise the Vision so much for what they did to Paul. They're gonna like Paul. Paul goes after them. So that's in the making. That's gonna happen soon.
Hmm.
You know, because think about it.
that's what I'd have to. Yeah,
You know when you watch the body movements of people like Paul Heyman, the body movements when Paul Heyman, you know, he's gonna figure betray somebody, and like the Vision, they're playing it to a point where they're gonna friggin' once the mystery man comes in, you're gonna have that night. They're all gonna come out and they're all gonna jump Logan Paul. Friggin' come. That's gonna be very soon. Probably going towards WrestleMania. He's gonna be out of the team before WrestleMania. So you rest assured that. This I gave this match a C+. There was really, you know, I want to see Brock Lesnar get speared, but Brock Lesnar was having fun. He it's kind of cool watching him fight the team. That's the best part, seeing him part of a team. You know, they used him. That was it. And then at the end, they didn't even have him in the back. He didn't come like, you know what makes me laugh is that he betrayed, Paul Heyman betrayed him. And he's part of the Vision. So I think eventually they're going to betray him again when they get the chance. You're not going to see Brock Lesnar anytime soon. You'll probably see Brock Lesnar come back for WrestleMania.
He'll be at WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia without question.
Oh yeah. Or you might get an appearance from him at Royal Rumble. He might come out in the Rumble.
That's what I mean. He'll be at Rumble without question.
Rumble,
yeah. He's a possibility to put him into the Elimination Chamber.
Probably
against Punk.
Yeah.
You know, Punk's going to be in that Elimination Chamber. It's in Chicago, for God's sakes.
Of course.
So, all right, let's see where we stand on the standings here.
Matt won on goal.
Yep.
The standing.
And he gets the extra 10, you bastard.
Hey,
Well, you get that extra 10 because you called Liv.
Oh man, that was all that was all freaking played out, man. That was a fix. The fix was on, man. Worse than the gambling and freaking basketball.
What fix? We didn't know she was coming back.
Yeah,
what fix
was on?
Yeah, that shit was fixed, man. He should be arrested for illegal gambling in wrestling.
Get out of here, fixed.
So our Survivor winner this week or this month is
5 times.
Matt.
5 times.
And this is why
this is
why we have too many PLEs for this to happen. You got to have them sparingly. Actually, all kidding aside, to be honest with you, do you think they should make a third show? A third show that you have
called NXT.
No,
right?
No. A third show, a main.
We'll call it Evolve.
No, a main roster show that you can have a mixture of a bunch of things in it, so you can avoid some of these freaking PLEs.
It's called Main Event.
No, it's not a main event. No.
I mean, if you're good,
no, they have just Main Event.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, the main
That's
event.
where El Grande Americano
It's
defends
just dark
its
matches,
speed
right? I mean, it's
championship.
just dark matches.
I think it's actually an internet show. It might be a YouTube show, but that's
No, but I
where
mean,
you
I mean,
see El
they
Grande
film.
Americano. Yeah, they film them before Raw and SmackDown. Yeah.
Yeah, they're dark matches, so to speak, because you don't see them on until it's not Raw or SmackDown. They see them on. You see them somewhere else. I don't know. Quite frankly, the two shows they've got, they've got to dig those out first before they think about putting up a third one or a fourth one, as it is.
Yeah.
You
They
know,
need to
let's fix what we got now. You know,
They need to make Netflix happy and ESPN happy before they worry about a third show. They don't have to make USA happy because let's face it, without SmackDown, USA has no views, so that's why they're going to 3 hours of SmackDown.
Yep.
So
yeah.
All right.
Because if the engine is broken, a new chassis isn't going to make it any better.
Right.
So there you go.
All right. Hot takes. Who's the masked man?
Okay.
Sticks. I want to hear Sticks first.
Good.
Ooh, me?
Yeah, because you say it's not Austin Theory. Let's hear who it is. Oh.
Well, here, let me explain this a little bit. The person in the mask was not Austin Theory. They might want you to. It might be Austin Theory come whenever they reveal it, but whoever was in that mask was not Austin Theory. It did not have Austin Theory build.
It was me, Austin.
Are you going with the Pete theory? Is because the booty don't match?
No. Austin Theory has a bigger upper body than this guy did.
So does freaking
the guy. There was and I should have put it in a picture so I could have brought it up. Someone had it where it was a good close up of the guy coming through the crowd. It looked like a man of color in that black outfit.
Really?
But if you look at it though,
dude, listen. If you
I don't
pick
know,
that out of the lineup, you should be the best detective.
Listen, I don't know how much of that image is accurate and not like doctored, because when you look
that's what I saw.
Other shots.
All right,
man,
wait, hey Matt, let me explain. So before you
hold on,
I know
his whole face is covered, so you can't see it.
It's in his eyes.
There's like the outline of the eyes. Either he could have like dark makeup around his eyes.
All right, Six, get with it. Who do you think it is? Who do you think it is?
I personally don't know. I don't think it's Austin Theory. Like I say, it may end up being Austin Theory, but I don't.
You said a man. You said a Manical. I want to know who do you think it is in wrestling. Who do you think it is?
Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick.
Whoop
trick. That trick. Whoop that trick.
I haven't really thought about that. I'm just going on. It's not Austin. It's not going to be Austin.
So okay,
give me a minute. So, I'll come up with something.
Right.
Go ahead, yeah.
Say if it's Trick Williams. Say if it's Trick Williams. I know he has a lot of hair. Like he put the hood on. If you can cover up, if they cover up the hair, I know the hair might be a little too much. Like the hood, put it on, get his hair maybe flat. They could put his hair. They could flat his hair down. Do that. I would not mind Trick Williams being part of the vision. I wouldn't mind it. I think that'd be pretty cool. You have two young guys in Logan Paul and also and I freaking Trick Williams, part of the group, and that a rookie, and you have a Bron Breakker. That's so there's your young chemistry right there, and Bronson Reed's the odd man out because he's like almost 40. But the whole fact is that you have that. Also, it could be, well, I don't think it'd be Montez Ford because Montez Ford, the back structure looks a little wider unless he's working out. Because Trick Williams does have that like the shoulder type of hunch.
Yeah.
If you look at his back, his shoulder with the back, the way it is,
I think you got to look at it from the Pete aspect, the booty.
Yeah, the booty.
dude had a booty.
You have that.
But can you bring up a pic of
get a picture? Can you get a picture?
Yeah, bring up a pic. That way we have something to look at here.
Because
I should have done it myself.
They're actually freaking doing some AI stuff on there now. They freaking documenting the freaking goddamn picture with AI stuff, and that's why I'm thinking. If they were smart, they would have the angle where they have multiple masked men. You don't know who it is, and you can have it down the road and see what's what. I think the masked man was the one that actually took out freaking Jacob.
We already have the masked man carousel, and who is a grande Americano this week?
Well, let me ask you a question now. Do you think Solo Sikoa was the one that freaking took out Jacob Fatu? All right, look at it. That's a
I
pretty
mean, look,
big,
dude's caked up.
a pretty
I'm
big
tell
dude.
you.
That's a pretty big dude. You know, and Austin Theory's been working out, but the fact is that you know, friggin' Waller was saying that Austin Theory's been working out hard, this and that, getting big, but that's a big dude. You know, I never thought Austin Theory looked like this. If that was Austin Theory, you know. Then again, he can have more clothes on. Like I'm saying, if you have a baggy shirt, and then I don't know. Well, it's kind of funny because fucking Buddy Matthews was saying, "I have a vision," when he was working out, coming back. So it's kind of funny, but yeah, can you get a picture of Austin Theory? Like what Austin Theory looks now? Is anything up there with Austin Theory?
We haven't seen him in quite a while.
I know, but there's something recent. There's got to be a recent picture of him. Because this dude looks more jacked now than he did when he came out in the freaking thing. When he came out.
This is. Hold on.
It does not look like this same guy.
I know, right? This dude looks bigger than the. This guy looks like Brock Lesnar in a freaking hooded shirt. Could that be freaking guy named Obafemi?
It was Brock Lesnar's daughter.
Maybe it's Brock Lesnar's daughter. No, but yeah, that dude, I did not see that dude.
Here's Austin Theory from his Instagram. It's from 21 weeks ago, but like he's definitely
he did put on some size. He did jack up, a little bit.
Let's see.
I think it could have been Theory. It could have been Austin Theory.
You know what? Yeah, look, it looks jacked. Well, if you put on a baggiest shirt and you have the hood, and you do have muscles underneath, you can actually look more jacked. Yeah, these.
But I mean, I've heard Chris Jericho. People are speculating that it's Chris
Well,
Jericho.
I don't think it's Chris Jericho. That's not Chris Jericho. It could be D'Angelo.
Yeah,
D'Angelo.
It could be D'Angelo. Yeah.
No, D'Angelo's good. Yeah, it's kind of the right.
I think that's the whole thing is that WWE isn't final on who it is and who they want it to be.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
Yeah, it could be anybody.
Got the reveal in the match. We would have got something. After the match, yeah. We would have got
because if it's anyone big, normally what happens? They do the move, right? And it's
so basically,
I got it. I know who it is.
Who?
Spoiler alert! You heard it here first. We have the masked man from Raw. Who was it that attacked CM Punk? Well, you're only gonna find out here on Off the Mat first. It was the one, the only Rick Boogs.
Yo, imagine he comes back. Yo, my man Jack. That could be Rick Boogs. To bring him back, to get him back into the thing. But all kidding aside, like they wait to January 5th. He helps friggin' Braun Breaker win the belt. And that's how Braun Breaker wins the belt on January 5th.
Could it have been Rusev Day?
Rusev's a big dude too. But
I think you're 100% right, Dom. I think they're going to hold off.
Yeah.
And we're not, like I said, I said it in the chat, we're not going to find out till, January 5th. Yep. Who that masked man is on Raw when they strike again to help Braun Breaker.
Well, I actually think they're going to strike again before, and you're not going to know who it is. They're going to strike again, and they're going to get away again. So I think they're going to have bits and pieces because you don't want to wait till January 5th for the guy to come back out. You want to wait. You have you got a whole month to go. So you can rest assured that you might get an appearance from him showing up later on. Like towards the end, like the end of Raw. Just to like little clues.
You should have had him show up and curb stomp Jey Uso when he was throwing his fit. I thought that's what they were working for on Raw when Jey Uso lost, and he was just standing there for 5 minutes. I'm like, why is he standing here? Why aren't we doing something? What are we waiting for? I was like, Braun Breaker's going to come out and spear him, or somebody's going to come out and spear him. The masked man is going to come out and attack him. Like, what are we waiting for him just to throw a hissy fit and leave? And then be like, Roman was right. Those titles would look better on him than me. Dude, shut up. We already saw whiny ass John Cena.
I actually think that people. I think that he was actually going to win the fight. I think that he was going to win and fight freaking Gunther again. I think they got, but the fans said, no, I don't want to see this shit again. And I actually think that the fact is that they're trying to throw curves now because we're on the things. And the Austin Theory thing, I'm not going to say that Austin Theory might not show up down the road, but I'd be very, very, I'd be very not surprised if it's somebody else. Because we were on to the whole Theory thing.
Well, I mean, I think making it like Montez Ford,
yeah,
makes things more interesting.
Trick Williams,
it adds a different dynamic to that group.
Yep.
Than going with Austin Theory.
But see, I think they want to see the whole thing with Montez Ford. They've been talking about single competitor. They don't want to put him on a group.
Here's what I think. I think Nick Khan, Triple H, either themselves or they have someone within WWE who are firing up their burner accounts and they're flying all over the IWC, going to these different shows to listen to your speculation on who you think it is and the ideas you think it is and to who they should make it. Because I think creatively, they don't know. They have no idea.
Because I think that they're stumped because if they were doing Austin Theory, everybody's onto it and they're like, we want a surprise. We want a pop.
He would have been revealed.
Exactly.
Yeah, if it was Austin Theory, I think he would have been revealed already.
Yeah.
If WWE knew who it was, wanted, knew
who
they were going to have.
I think they had Austin Theory, but people were onto it. I said, hey, you know what? Let's just take this longer and let's think of another plan. Let's change it up because they've been changing things up now because people have been onto things saying this and that. So now I think they're going to change it. Look, they need this to work. See, they're trying to do the angle what AEW had. Remember the devil? The guy in the devil mask, and they are going after freaking goddamn freaking Cole.
MJF.
MJF and shit like that. And the mystery man. Do something like that, and definitely, throw it, have it, throw it to the wolves and, have Austin Theory be the ringleader down the road. Like, it's not Austin Theory. It's somebody else who's actually coming into the fold and then have Austin Theory, later on, But I said, a multiple masked men, I think that angle will be a little to throw people off, just to do things, and if they do something like that, and of course, January 5th is 4 weeks away, 5 weeks away, whatever it is. But you can actually have fun with this, and if they do it right, and
5 Mondays,
so you could do this, but 5 Mondays, and when they do a reveal, you'll get the pop. So you got to do it right, and you got to make it like it's not Austin Theory, or you change it altogether and it wasn't Austin Theory to begin with. You got to do something like that because, like I said, the fans, they're saying Ron Killings is coming back. He's going to wear a mask again. Oh my God, another mask. Ron Killings is doing it again. It's Ron Killings. Imagine it's him. Imagine this freaking Ron Killings. Would you be mad if it is Ron Killings?
Kings, yeah.
R-Truth joins the.
Yeah, I would because it would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
He doesn't fit the group, and it's just going to be another comedic gag. WWE making a mockery of it.
Yeah.
Well, now hold on. We don't know. And we don't know that this masked man is part of the Vision.
Right. That's true.
Right. So, I mean, it could be someone from Punk's past. It could. It's Jungle Boy.
Yeah, Jungle Boy. It's MJF. He decided to turn to leave. No, but look, because think about it. When they asked Braun Breaker he goes, who's this Batman? There's this guy dressed like Batman coming in here and interfere. He goes, taking away my shine. So maybe you throw in an angle you throw in an angle that is actually not part of the vision. He's not.
Look
part
at
of the
Jake
vision.
Paul,
Nah, Jake Paul's not that big, dude. Jake
Logan Paul's brother.
Nah.
Todd, Kevin keeps saying Matt Hardy. Dude, the guy moved too swiftly to be Matt Hardy. Have you seen Matt Hardy? That dude walks bow-legged. Like, his
Listen,
knees
let me tell you
don't bend
something. All kidding
anymore.
aside, that was a
Matt
big
Hardy
dude.
ain't climbing that cage like
That was a big dude that actually was so agile that freaking ran and jumped the cage and climbed that cage quick and jumped over and ran out. So, who else in wrestling can be that big and agile like that? You know, I don't even think Austin Theory's that agile like that.
Austin Theory's pretty agile.
No, he is, but you
Yeah,
know,
I would say he is.
but the body, the mannerism.
Montez Ford definitely is.
Oh, Montez Ford definitely is. He definitely is. You know, and Trick
Yeah.
Williams too. Like I said, it's gonna be a young.
Yeah, I
it's
think
gonna be.
That's right.
It's gonna be one of the young a young guy that you have to build. That's build up a younger guy that's gonna up and comer. You know, and look, Austin Theory makes it because Austin Theory actually was in storylines that they had, and they cut it because certain situations happened, so they changed things. So could it be Austin Theory? 100%, it could be Austin Theory. But then again, like I said, the fans are onto it, and
Yes, TNA is better than AEW. You are correct.
and now they got their new contract with AMC, which kind of neutralizes the WWE agreement with them as a freaking a cohesive partnership. But we're gonna find out. But mark my words, you'll probably have another appearance of the Masked Man very soon, before January 5th. Maybe one or two more times before January 5th. You know, like I said, they probably changed plans. They definitely changed plans. It was going to be Austin Theory, but now, like I said, the crowd was on it. They got to do something. Like I said, multiple masked men make a lot more sense. Have a masked man show up at SmackDown. You know, it's like, what the hell is the masked man doing here? Attack somebody in SmackDown.
No more masked men. No more masked men.
Yeah.
All right.
LA Knight.
Oh, Sticks went dark. Sticks after dark.
Yeah.
But yeah, TNA is where the best wrestle, not AEW.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of TNA, we've kind of alluded to it a few times here. We got the news this week that TNA is signing a deal with AMC for a premiere on January 15th, 2026, with its first live debut of TNA Impact. It won't air live every week, but they will be live a lot. So you're going to go have a lot of pre-taped stuff for Impact as well. But welcome to AMC, getting away from The Walking Dead and getting into the world of professional wrestling. It's a very, very interesting jump that they're going to make there. Excited to see it. Hopefully we can get some good stuff, and it will be a little bit of competition for WWE. I really think that that's why they were in bed together, was to get TNA this TV deal to try and help end AEW. But listen, that's a lot of professional wrestling we got now, boys. We got Monday Night Raw, Tuesday night NXT, Wednesday night Dynamite, Thursday night TNA, Friday night SmackDown, Saturday night Collision. We have wrestling every night of the week but Sunday.
Hey, who knows? We get Sunday Night Heat back. Hey, listen, I wouldn't mind freaking 7 days a week wrestling, man.
That's a lot of wrestling.
There's a lot of
wrestling.
It is, and different types of wrestling, different characters. If you see new stars, you get hey, look, like I said, I'm happy.
I mean, listen, there's a lot of independent wrestling that you can go on to YouTube and watch.
I congratulate TNA on getting the deal with AMC. I wish them luck. You know, I'm sad that the partnership with WWE is over with. You know, but who knows? Like I said, stranger things have happened. You know,
Well, I think the partnership with WWE helped them.
I think it did, and I think it did, and but But now that
I
begs
think
the
that was
question.
the thought.
I mean, the rest of the question: do you think that Tony Khan, freaking goddamn AEW, puts their hands in the cookie jar and tries to become partners with TNA now because of AMC?
No,
You do?
I don't.
No.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
WWE. TNA president Carlos Silva said that WWE had no involvement in the negotiations, but I think them allowing this partnership and showcasing their wrestlers and what TNA is doing really put a spotlight on them to where AMC wanted to move forward with this deal.
And we took Joe Hendry away.
Yeah, they got. I mean, WWE got what they wanted out of that partnership. They got Joe Hendry and they got what's her face, Jordan Grace.
Yeah.
So
Jordan Grace.
The only thing they haven't got yet is Leon Slater and Mike Santana, which I'm sure will be coming down the pipeline.
Oh yeah, down the road, yeah.
So,
yeah, Chris, you're right, man. You know,
that's the wrong one.
But there was interesting comments made by Nick Khan as well. Nick Khan said that if you're a mid-card talent, you're not going to get rich. That's the way it should be. That's kind of a. He was on the Max Keller. He was talking to Max Kellerman on the Inside the Ring podcast.
Hey, I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that though.
He said it's a mediocrity. If you make it to the top, you're marketable. You get paid. That's how any job should be. Your job, my job, any job. He said if you're Roman Reigns, if you're Brock Lesnar, if you're Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, all the guys at the top of our game, they're getting rich. If you're in the middle, you're not getting rich, but you have a really good life.
Interesting.
I mean, there's other ways in professional wrestling, mid-card wise, to get rich. Look at all the guys doing on the indies. Look at all the guys like Matt Cardona who are on the indies and saying that they make way more money on the indies than they ever made in WWE. Shirt sales, merch.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Merch. Do you think that mystery guy could be Karrion Kross?
No.
He's coming back, I think.
No, not tall enough. Not tall enough.
What? Karrion Kross is a tall dude. I bet him in person, man. He's a tall dude.
No, he's saying that the masked guy wasn't tall enough.
Yeah,
the masked guy. Yeah. Karrion Kross is definitely a tall dude. I'm not saying that. Yeah. I don't know.
All right.
Now I don't like it. I'll tell you this. I don't like it when management comes out and says you're not going to make any money doing what you're doing. I think that's a slap in the face to their talent.
I agree with you there.
Yeah.
I just hope the product gets better, man. There's no, I don't know. AEW doesn't have anything going for it. They're like, oh, well, we need something. Let's just put Tony Storm in a blood and guts match and some sort of street fight, or let Mercedes Moné win another belt.
Win another title. Yeah.
You know, you see the AI Braun Breaker shaking John Moxley's hand and this and that. It's like that. Hey, look, I actually think if they do an angle where this guy, the guy is not part of the vision, interferes, he hates Punk, but also it irritates the vision for even interfering. And Braun Breaker is a loose cannon, gets pissed at that dude because dude, you figure take away my shine, and he was already pissed about falling on his neck. So it'd be kind of cool if he's not even part of the vision. It's just some random that not only he's after Punk, but also he irritates the vision, and they decide to go after him too. Even though, look. I always like now I love this heel versus heel stuff. You have all these different battles. It makes things interesting because who do you root for? They're both heels. But that can make better matches and interesting scenarios that we haven't seen before.
I know who the masked man is. What if the masked man wasn't a man at all? What if it was a woman? What if it's Zoe Stark?
She's a big bitch, though.
Zoe Starks.
Man, it could be.
She should be getting ready to come back from that knee injury.
Yeah.
Been a year,
No,
right?
totally, but that's what it's too big. I'm talking about she's big, but the whole fact that you know what else is big? Freaking
Bro,
Zarya. Zarya's a big girl too. Yo, you need someone like you need somebody like freaking what's the face? The eighth wonder. You know,
China.
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 Kamala.
Bodybuilder.
There you go. Kamala.
Kamala. Hey,
Kamala, it was Kamala.
True.
Yeah. I mean, if you're talking like China, I mean that would be Jordan Grace, right? I mean she's kind of that.
Yeah, but Jordan Grace, that's not that big. Jordan Grace is she's short.
No, I'm not saying she's that tall, but I'm saying like her build is more of a muscular build than like.
How about
A
Apollo
lot of
Crews?
these women on the roster.
Apollo Crews, what do you think?
Apollo Crews.
He did show up at the AAA thing. He came back, and it was, you got
China died a long time ago. We got the kind of tease of Pat McAfee's return.
Yeah, we did.
I saw that today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Once he's done with College Game Day in a few weeks.
Do you think that he calls
February.
calls the match on January 5th?
No. There'll still be BCS stuff going on.
Yeah, but he was doing Raw and the BC in the national championship.
It's actually
stuff last
easier.
year.
It's actually easier because there's not that many games. He's actually with college football every week. So with that, he could actually probably get away with doing that and coming back. And him and Michael Cole in freaking commentary for the January 5th anniversary. That'd be pretty cool.
Bianca Belair gave a update on her finger. She was asked in an Instagram live Q&A about how her finger was doing, and she responded, "It's getting fixed," accompanied by prayer hands. So it sounds like she might have had surgery on it.
I think that's what they were going for.
Like had surgery a couple times on it. They had to keep breaking it to put it back in play because she wasn't able to bend it.
Well, they did that so it would heal, try and heal.
Yeah, but the whole fact that they had to break
didn't work, then they went to the surgery. Yeah,
crazy.
I agree.
Why do you hate Bianca Belair?
Yeah, that's a good question. Why do you
Why
hate?
do you hate?
I mean, I could see it because she was so overused and kind of like pushed really, really hard, almost shoved down your throat, where she was winning back-to-back championships, back-to-back Royal Rumbles, WrestleManias.
Yeah, it was like Charlotte Flair. Think about it. Charlotte Flair was pushed so much,
No, she didn't turn heel.
Oh.
She did some good heel work in NXT.
Yeah, she did.
But all right, anything else we should touch on? You guys want to talk about? I feel like we kind of covered it all. Nobody was going there, Chris. I don't think any of us were accusing you of that or going there at all with that.
I know that was never our intention.
Yeah,
not at all. It's just they love to overuse wrestlers and shove wrestlers down your throat because of Charlotte Flair. Yeah. Brock Lesnar. Every time Brock Lesnar came out, he beat Kobe Kingston in freaking 2 seconds flat. And people like that, that are, so many wrestlers that they shove down your throat. That's why people get annoyed.
Yeah, well, look like what we've been yelling at, like with Jey Uso lately. Like
They're pushing They're pushing Jey Uso, and now finally he lost. They get rid of him. We didn't want to see freaking him and freaking Gunn 6-7 times.
What was that bullshit about him stopping mid-match and yeeting on the top of the cage?
Doing that, when Brock Lesnar came out, yeah.
Come on.
I think that was a signal for them to get for when Brock Lesnar was supposed to come in.
He said, "I hate Cody Rhodes too because The Rock was right about Cody Rhodes not being at WrestleMania."
That's another thing. We talk about the bad storylines. The Rock kind of screwed that whole storyline up. That could have been really great.
Yeah, I was kind of leaving that alone just because we've talked about that.
I don't know, I'm just
nauseam.
saying, but you know,
Yeah.
it just brings back bad memories. But the whole fact is that The Rock came back and actually made a point in the storyline and followed through. Maybe it could work down the road. Anyway,
It was me, Austin.
it was me all along. And that's far from being The Rock. You can't be The Rock because The Rock can't move like that anymore. My brother texted me here these sentimental friggin' messages.
So the taped SmackDown, we kind of went over these already last week, but just because they went through the airwaves, LA Knight advanced past the Miz, who took his ticket and swapped it with whoever it would have been. Probably Ron Killings. We don't know.
I think it was going to be Ron Killings.
More likely.
Stupid Miz.
But we kind of figured whoever it was, LA Knight was going to roll past that. Then we got the Rusev Jey Uso match, where again, like we just said, they're high on Jey Uso and they're pushing Jey Uso, so he got over on Rusev. So he advanced past Rusev on that SmackDown last Friday. Or
every day is Rusev Day.
Every day is Rusev Day. Yep. The brute from Bulgaria.
Cody Rhodes should have turned heel instead of John Cena, huh?
That would have been
That's a hot
interesting.
take.
Which moved us into the semifinals, where we had LA Knight versus Jey Uso. LA Knight advancing past the Yeetster. We all said LA Knight. I think we all wanted LA Knight, so we got LA Knight.
Yeah,
going over him. I swear, if they had done Uso Gunther again, it would have been unbearable to watch.
LA Knight, yeah.
So, but you see that when he went on top of the rope, he almost fell. He went up there, he slipped off the top rope. And went down.
Yeah, he botched
he almost botched it. And then when friggin' Jay fell down, I think Jay fell down a little awkwardly the way he did the
fell down on his shoulder a little bit. Yeah,
kind of. So I don't know. Maybe he got hurt. Maybe he's mad that he has to play character. Maybe he hurt himself. Like it kind of like he freaking got a shoulder stinger. You know,
Dom thinks everyone's hurt.
Hurt. The whole damn roster's hurt.
Well, I mean, I hate to be a horse here, but again, that comes back to, there
he is beating that dead horse.
Not having the, he should be able to do that move, but if he's not, I don't think he did it in the last match, did he? No, I don't think he did, where he suplexes him off the top rope. So, I don't know. It's hard to say. If you're not practicing, this is when people do get injured. It's proven. We know people can get injured by not having a safety net around you, which is practice. We got Gunther versus Solo. Gunther. This was a great match. I thought this was a great match for Solo.
That was one of the best parts of Raw.
And I would have believed if Solo beat Gunther. I didn't think it was going to happen, but I would have believed it because the way the match was going, it was a good match for Solo.
It was a very good match.
Yeah, very good match.
It was Solo's best match.
Yes, it was. And that brings us to what we got here. This
Last
coming
tournament.
this coming week. I think
It's
it's
tomorrow. The
Raw.
finals tomorrow night on SmackDown, isn't it?
I thought it was
Yeah.
on Raw.
No, I think that.
It says Raw. It says Raw next Monday.
Oh, they
yeah,
were.
They moved the Raw, yeah.
Yeah, then they moved it to Raw because they were pushing it on SmackDown, saying that the finals was going to be on Friday night.
But it's 2 Monday night guys.
Unless
It's 2 Monday night
Unless
guys.
they moved it since I did this.
Because they're both on the main roster. It's 2 Monday
Yeah.
nights, 2 guys who are Monday Night Raw. So
Yeah.
because LA Knight's on Monday night now.
Yeah.
You know what?
So
Gunther.
where our pick's gonna go? Do you think LA Knight will pull it out over Gunther, or is it dead set Gunther versus Cena?
You say what, Matt? What do you say?
Gunther.
Gunther? Listen, everybody said Gunther from the beginning and with Gunther versus Triple H.
Mhm.
How about this? I mean, enter John Cena. How about this? How about we get a Solo and MFT guys come out, interfere in the match, and both guys have to fight John Cena?
Tom, why are you trying to push MFTs? They
I'm
suck.
trying to make something happen.
I'm trying to make fetch happen, Dom.
Because I want LA Knight to be part of this match. I want LA Knight to get the push. He needs more of a push than freaking Gunther does.
I want a 6-foot dong, 12-pack, and $1 million, but none of those things are happening.
Hey, you could
I don't know if
have
a 6 foot.
dude. Fucking swinging off goddamn vines. Give me a break, man.
Absolutely.
Woo.
Got to use a wheelbarrow to get around.
Yo, you should be in porn if that's the case. Nah, dude.
You could write about it.
I would love LA Knight to get that push, man. But no, you're right. And much as anything, freaking Gunther, man. Gotta give it to Gunther. I'd be very surprised if LA Knight does pull it off and they do that change to make LA Knight get to get that push, because he needs it more than Gunther. Gunther's already over. Gunther don't need a championship. He's already over already.
Be careful what you ask for.
Yeah, I would like to see LA Knight as well. I think I agree. He needs more of a not that he's not over, but getting in with Cena would push him a little further. Gunther's, I think, already.
But what's funny? The whole funny thing is that, Dirty Dom beat Cena, right? Even though it was cheating, he beat Cena. Freaking Solo beat Cena in freaking WrestleMania. They're already over already. Dirty Dom is over after beating John Cena for the Intercontinental Championship. He's way over now. Dirty Dom. Even if he has no championship, Dirty Dom is over now. So no matter what he does now, and when he becomes face,
no, the crowd
face,
gets behind him whether he's
exactly.
Yeah.
The crowd, when he becomes face, the crowd's going to be extra behind him. He's going to be good. But the whole fact is that LA Knight, so much promise from fucking Max Dupree, a friggin' male maximum model and friggin' maximum models. Friggin' come on, man. He was great in NXT. Great, in the independent scene. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
LA Knight is 40 years old, dude. He's been around the league. He's been around the freaking goddamn circuit for a very long time. He's been around the league for over 20 years, dude. He also was managed by Paul Bearer. Wasn't he managed by Paul Bearer at one time?
Yes, he was.
Yeah. So, kind of we'll see what happens, right? But I do have to go with Gunther because it's the way it's getting pushed. The way they want to push it. They want Gunther to be the ultimate bully, the ultimate bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Well, listen. I'm gonna take the shot in the dark. I'm gonna go with the WWE swerve and say that LA Knight's gonna get the win here because we're all saying Gunther, and WWE. We know they like to swerve to the left and swerve to the right, just so we're not always in line with what you think is going to happen. So I'll take LA Knight.
Listen,
somehow beating Gunther.
Yeah, Swerve, the guy in the black who attacked CM Punk, Swerve Strickland. There you go. He came back.
Oh, there you go.
It was
That's
LA
not a bad
Knight.
pick.
It was LA Knight. Swerve Strickland is still with AEW.
I know. He just came back at AEW just a little while ago. Yeah. But he does hate. Everybody hated CM Punk anyways. The whole freaking roster of AEW hated CM Punk.
Yeah, it's both of the jungle, or not jungle, but both of the Young Bucks, just one on top of the other's shoulders.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, imagine.
It's Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega.
The Omega.
It's fucking goddamn swagger. The American.
All right. Very good. Very good. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. So there's your tournament brackets and where we're at.
L.A. Knight. Yeah.
And this is what everyone thinks is going to happen.
You got the right
we'll see if
graphic
it
up there. You got the right
We'll
graphic
see if
up
it
there.
happens. We'll see if it happens.
Cena versus Gunther.
I probably will. I
Hey,
probably
let
will.
me ask you a question.
So.
Do you think you see the masked man in Saturday Night Main Event? Think about it. You're gonna have all the young NXT guys that'll be off. They're gonna have some matches that he could pop up in Saturday Night Main Event. Would make you think about that it's somebody from NXT.
It's so odd that we're getting that match on a Raw. Why isn't that match on Saturday Night Main Event? Why isn't CM Punk versus Braun Breaker on Saturday Night Main Event?
Because they didn't want to take away from Cena. Cena, you got to think about it. Cena is the big build. That's why they put in NXT guys.
You're true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because then you take away from the Cena match, like, oh, this is guys, it's a championship match. You don't want that. So
But it's all
That's
about
kinda
young
what
guys getting their opportunities. So
Yeah.
like
so
Braun Breaker beating CM Punk would be
right. It's like that's the highlight of the night. The healthy guys, So, but do we finally get wrestling that we were looking forward to now because of all this heat that Triple H and TKO are getting from the rotten stories? Like listen. At least don't say epic. Say you're gonna get a good run today. It should be a good one.
Look, I'm gonna throw something out here, and I want to get your guys' opinion on it because it's gonna be a pretty hot take. But I'm interested to see what you think. Do WWE's numbers and viewership and ticket sales decline after December 13th? Now that Cena's gone, everyone's buying tickets because they want to see Cena's last run, their final time seeing him in a WWE ring. So they're selling out these events. Now that Cena's gone, is WWE really going to be in trouble because they don't have that John Cena draw?
I'll tell you this: what's going to happen is that yes, you'll probably get a drop after John Cena leaves. The regular shows, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, those shows, I think the ticket prices will drop and decline, and they will have to have cheaper things. But the pay-per-views will definitely have more of a premium match to them because John Cena is the big draw in all these. Because if John Cena shows up at the shows are going to sell out, so the price of the tickets are going to go through the roof. So now when he leaves, you go back down to reality. The regular shows will be reasonable compared to the big pay-per-views. That's why the pay-per-views mean a lot to TKO because they can get the big bang for the buck with the pay-per-views and not the house. That's why. Why do you think the house shows? They cut the house shows. They didn't want to freaking get less of money, so that's why they cut the house shows to get more money for the pay-per-views. So
and the expense too of running an arena, the paying for travel for their. I know the talent are independent contractors, but I don't think like the road crew is. So you have to pay for lodging for the road crew, people to set up. It was just more overhead cost. But it kind of
you could have limited them. You could have limited how many you got. I mean,
look, you could look. I think going into next year, they were talking about changing names of pay-per-views because of the stigma of Vince McMahon was still on the PLEs. Who's to say that they might cut back on some of the PLEs and change some names? But keep the ones that look. You can't change WrestleMania. You can't change that name. That's a legitimate. That's like changing McDonald's.
That's your bread and butter.
Yeah, that's
your
like
bread and
changing
butter
the name McDonald's to something else.
McDougal's.
McNuggets. He goes, freaking
McDougal's.
the Nugget place. You can't change that name. You got to leave that. Hell in a Cell. But the other pay-per-views, like freaking Fastlane, change that shit. That's, you could change. You could change the Elimination Chamber.
The Masked Man is Doink.
Doink the Clown. Hey, say if the Masked Man was Rey Mysterio.
Second Doink.
Rey Mysterio was a
He's too tall to be Rey Mysterio.
I know. But
what if the Masked Man was Juan Cena?
It could be Juan Cena. What if the Masked Man? What if the Masked Man was Chad Gable?
He's too tall. He's too tall for Gable.
You're too tall.
Well, he's too tall and too big. And look, most likely we're talking about, like I said, Austin Theory again. But the fact is that his build does not look like Austin Theory's build. Even though Austin Theory looks like he's ripped, but
that's why I'm going with Trick.
I think Trick Williams has that frame because he looks the way he has that the shoulder, the way the shoulders hunch.
Bioba.
Yeah, I think ticket sales do go down, but pay-per-views stay there. But the regular shows become reasonable. They have to do that because the big draw. Unless Chris Jericho comes back and then they're like, oh, we got a retirement thing for just Jericho too now. If everybody's going to want to see Chris Jericho. Look,
right.
Chris Jericho might make his return on that Monday Night Raw. That would be very interesting if he does. You want that show to be great? Not only you introduce who the Masked Man is, right? Breaker wins the belt off freaking goddamn CM Punk, and then you have the return of Chris Jericho. How big would that show be? Think about it.
I mean, what Chris Jericho do you want? Do you want Lionheart Chris Jericho? Do you want the Painmaker Chris Jericho? Do you want the List Chris Jericho? Do you want?
I think they'll have a mixture.
Y2J.
No, I actually think they'll do a mixture like they do with The Rock. The Final Boss, he was a mixture of Hollywood,
Painmaker.
and so you could have that Chris Jericho. All those characters. It's his last run. Have those characters play out. You could do the list to have the funny. You made the list, and you could have the line. You could have all those Chris Jerichos in one to be his final run. Because he's gonna probably sign a 2-year contract. Not this year, but next year will be his retirement thing. Same thing with AJ Styles. Not this year, next year is AJ Styles' final run.
Oh, so the crowd will go nuts when Judas hits.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, dude. Just think about it. Just think about how crazy that Raw will be. You'll have all different angles, like I said, and if Seth Rollins is able to try to interfere in something, just to interfere, not to to wrestle, and able to take a spear from freaking from Ron Breaker, come in, just give the curve stomp to freaking both Ron Breaker and freaking CM Punk. Just to do that. But who's to say? But they can make it really epic. And not only that, you could have the match, the Jay Cargill match, on there with freaking with Chelsea Green. You can take the belt off that and win the belt there. Have a couple of things there. Tag team championships. You can make it the big show, the biggest show of the year, the 1-year anniversary of that, and it'll really make Raw.
Well, it's the big slow.
Yeah. So we'll see. Like I said,
whatever they do, God help us that it sets them up for a good, entertaining 2026 that'll have us talking from January 5th till December of 2026 about all the good wrestling goodness.
That's all I'm hoping for, is that it gets better than what we got this year.
Yeah.
On that note, anything else you guys want to touch on or talk about?
No, I think we're good. I think there's nothing else. I'm just looking forward to. Now I'm looking forward to the 5th. I know it's 5 weeks away, but I'm still looking forward to see.
WWE building you up just to give you blue balls again, Dom.
Yeah,
I know. I think we might have to do a watch along for Saturday Night Main Event for Cena's final match.
You know what?
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Might have to make that happen.
Okay.
But on that note, if you guys want more from Styx, you can catch him every Tuesday night over on his channel for his Doctor Who rewind, because there's no way that Styx likes Doctor Who. Who would have guessed that Styx was a Doctor Who fan?
Doctor Who, boo!
Yeah, you can catch Dom every Saturday or Sunday night over on Renovision on the Star Wars show, because you would have never guessed that he was a Star Wars fan, right?
Yeah, Star Wars, boo!
You can catch them both together in their giant circle jerk they call the Qualified on Friday nights over on Renovision. Are you guys going to be live tomorrow night on Renovision?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. You can catch more from me on this channel all week long, as well as making Styx Fridays over on Renovision. And you can catch all three of us right back here next week on Off the Mat for more pro wrestling goodness. Dom, take us out with some words of wisdom, my friend.
Yeah, words of wisdom. Listen, cherish the moment. John Cena's finished. I was hoping that he would have another match in WrestleMania, but he is finished. Enjoy the childhood. 23 years of John Cena. It was a good run. And that being said, you too, if you try hard enough, you can definitely have a 23-year run as well too, and go down the road and retire. With all things.
Be lucky.
But retirement, the one thing I honestly say about this, John Cena is, 40? How old is he? 48?
Something like that.
That's something like that, 48, 40, 47? He's retiring at 47. Think about that. That's young.
Well, he's not really retired. He's just retiring from professional.
I know, I say, but someone like us have to work to 67. So we don't get a retirement party.
He's 48. He's 48.
So 48. We don't get a retirement party. We don't get one last run. We have to do what we can to provide. We don't have it like they do. So that being said, man,
I've been on one last run for 900 years. So.
Pick your career.
you have been on one last run for 900 years. You are absolutely correct.
I know, but remember, pick your career wisely, because you could be in the same boat. That's it. I'm done.
Well, who would have known that words of wisdom to end the show would have been so grim and just depressed everybody around that they can't retire at 48.
No, you can't retire at 40 unless you're freaking got the money, man. End the story.
Here's the word of wisdom out of that. If you work hard enough, you can retire when you want to. There you go.
That's still very depressing. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for everyone in the chat hanging out tonight. Hope you guys have a great week. Enjoy your holiday season. Get all that shopping done, because, get all that professional wrestling goodness for that professional wrestling fan in your life, because we are 3 weeks today, 3 weeks from Christmas, from the old fat man in the red coat. And I'm not talking about Dom's prom date coming to deliver you all presents under the tree. On that note, we will see you guys next week. Have a great weekend and get out and enjoy some professional wrestling.
In the ring, the lights go down. Roaring crowd, they scream and shout. Chants echo, shaking the ground. Warriors clash, the game is found. Welcome to